have you got to do the Niner yell?
I was practicing last night. Niners!
And he said, I really don't like Colin Kaepernick. I'm not going to depend on him. Me and Patrick Willis got a scheme going that's trying to make this defense so good to win as a championship. They was also at a point to trying to beat him up.
No.
Are you listening?
TD, I taught him that. Oh, I've been having such a good time this past week. I almost forgot about our weekly meeting. Sorry, I'm late. I gotta do one though. I gotta do one. Course of the game, right? 1 yard line. Seattle Seahawks fans. Beast mode, beast mode, beast mode. Oh! That's my favorite part of the game. But did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? The Hawks were going to lose the Super Bowl.
Oh man, here he comes. He got one game right in the last 4 years. Now look at him jumping around and dancing, looking like a fool. You still ain't got no ability to predict no games.
It doesn't matter how many times it took me to get this right. I got it right this year, and that's all that matters. I'm delighted. But listen, we need to get over it. People are starting to look at 49er fans like we're kind of strange. We are, but we need to stop now. Get over it. Congratulations to the New England Patriots. And besides, we got all kinds of good news coming out of the 49er camp. First of all, we will be returning to a more simplistic offense. Good. And we will be getting back to the read option. Good. And we will be relying more on those long, lovely, gorgeous legs of Colin Kaepernick. I mean, it's looking good. We are going to be fabulously famous next year for just kicking butt. But you know, all offseason long, my mission is to find 49er fans all over the world. Ooh, and I want to say hello to Gage Lee Hazelwood down in Alabama. Came and found me on Facebook. Gage Lee's down in the home of the legendary Bear Bryant. And Bama, hello Bama. Hey, join me now as I get on over here to the 49er camp and talk to some 49ers. All the way from Arizona, it's Vinny. Vinny, yes. Welcome to the show, man. Or should I say, welcome to the conversation. This ain't no show. This is all about 49er fans meeting 49er fans. Vinny, the Super Bowl was outrageously funny on a season that has been dismal and sad for 49er fans. The satisfaction. Where were you during that play that Russell Wilson totally screwed up?
I was we had a big party watching the game, and when he drew that interception, I lost my mind. I started screaming at the Seattle fans, saying, sorry, go home. Because I love to rub it in their face, because I'm a diehard Niner fan, and Seahawks fans are my enemies.
We're going to get more of that coming up next season. But give me some feeling about Tom Sula, because I know your confidence is. How do you feel about Jim Tom Sula running the team this year?
I like Jim Tom Sula, and I know the team, and I know the whole team likes him. The whole team loves him. But I think that this coaching job is too much for Jim Tom Sula. I think it is, because the way he went into the interview, into the media, like he was pressured out. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to talk about. I think he was giving too much information up. He looked a little crazy. You know, but he made a lot of sense. He said that he coaches the defensive line, offensive line. He was a quarterback coach once, and then he said it's time to take over head coaching. And every coaching that he was doing, defensive line, offensive line, quarterback coach, he was great at it. And now I think he should be decent as a head coach, but I don't think better than Harbaugh. Harbaugh was Harbaugh.
Yeah, no, Harbaugh, that's a whole other category. But Jimmy T, from what I can see of the footage I've been watching, this is really a lovable guy. I got a feeling all the players on the team have to love this guy.
They love him to death.
They'll play for him. I'm almost positive they're going to play hard for him. Because we were discussing a little interesting tidbit a little earlier, because Vinny lives in Arizona. He, of course, has friends, relatives all over the place. Arizona is the mecca this year for the Super Bowl, and the atmosphere is crazy. You can meet players and all that stuff. Tell me about that.
Well, we also went to Old Town, Scottsdale, and we seen everybody. We seen Patrick Peterson, Odell Beckham, the D-line. I forgot his name. He's the D-line. He's like a third string or second string for the San Francisco 49ers. He's number 63. We seen him. Also seen Julio Jones, Terrell Suggs. I also seen the offensive line that used to bully what's his name again? Damn it.
Are you talking about on the offensive line? Are you talking about Marcus Martin?
Yeah, the one that used to bully Marcus Martin. I seen him. And I told him, thank you for bullying Marcus Martin because he's a little girl. I think he's one of the worstest offensive line ever, and I hate Marcus Martin.
He's leaving. He's leaving. I guarantee you, there's no room for him on the 49ers team because the guys are going to do a whole makeup on this team.
Definitely.
But give me some more of that little situation that your cousin, I believe it was, they ran into Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis.
My cousin Nino K-Boy. Finest. Him and his friends went to the bar because they ran into Navarro Bowman, and he was just asking him all kinds of questions. What do you think about Colin Kaepernick? And he said, I really don't like Colin Kaepernick. I'm not going to depend on him. Me and Patrick Willis got a scheme going that's trying to make this defense so good to win as a championship. And then after that, he was asking about Coach T. He said, I love Coach T to death. He's a lovable person, like you said, Ronbo. But then he said, I don't think he's head coach material. He also said that. And there was a point where they was getting so sick of Kaepernick, of losing. Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis walked up to Kaepernick after the Seattle Seahawks game in Seattle, and they was aggressive with him. They said, listen, Kaepernick, you need to go out in the media and talk right and stop being all head honcho because you're not what you are. Even that media, when he went out into the media, that was the best Colin Kaepernick ever talked it. Like, he was giving you details and telling you everything. Delilah me. I got sick. They was also at a point to trying to beat him up.
No.
That's what freaked me out.
No, they can't beat our boy up.
Definitely, they can't at all. But I don't think that none of the 49ers' players like Colin Kaepernick. Only buddy I probably likes Colin Kaepernick was Jim Harbaugh, but he is also wrong. You know,
these are those things that you don't want to believe. You know, you've heard of, but you just can't believe it's possibly true.
Kaepernick, let me tell you about Kaepernick next year. I don't think he's going to throw the ball at all. I think our running is going to be so high-powering that it's going to take us back to what we was. Frank Gore is going to be terrific this year. Carlos Hyde is coming off his rookie year. He had a great rookie year. Colin Kaepernick had a bad year. He had a horrible year. It's one of the worst years he ever had, but he only been in the league for 3 years. You can say he's still a rookie. He's still getting off his rookie seasons. But I think that it's going to be a lot more running than passing this year.
Vinny, I tell you what, you know what? Then your prediction. Are we going to the Super Bowl?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're going to beat the curse. Yeah. I predict this. It's going to be either Green Bay and the Niners NFC champion or the Cowboys and the Niners and the NFC champion.
You know what I enjoy about that prediction? You didn't say anything about the Hawks.
The Hawks are done. They will never get over this loss. They are getting Marshawn Lynch after Russell Wilson threw that pick. Marshawn Lynch was laughing at Pete Carroll.
I seen that footage.
He was laughing at him. And Richard Sherman got to do that Jimmy John surgery. That takes 1 year and 6 months to recover from.
Tommy John surgery. He said he's going to postpone it.
Tommy John. Cam Chancellor played the Super Bowl with a torn MCL.
It's going to be tough to get over that.
It's going to be very tough.
Right, you know what I'm hoping we all meet in Santa Clara, Super Bowl for the tailgate party of the century.
100%. I'm going back to San Francisco in another 2 months.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you
again.
I was getting ready to ask you for that. That was hardcore, bro. That was it.
All right.
And today, another lovely Niner lady. Her name is Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure to have you, Kel. Now, you've got some things you want to talk about, but first, let us laugh and clown about that moment when our boy Russ faded back. He came across the field and he threw what he knew was going to be a touchdown. Oh, snap.
It was perfect. Let's put it this way. It was on the money, but I guess the Patriots had other plans. It was quite weird watching that because it was like, okay, they have it. They're wasting the clock. Okay, Beast Mode's about to get MVP. No doubt about it. Then you're like, okay, what? Wait, did that 3 seconds go by and it's an interception? I'm like, what? Like, I didn't know what to do with that. I'm like, do I root for the Patriots or do I root for the Seahawks losing? But then again, I had to go with the Seahawks losing was just great.
See, because think about this for a minute, Kelly. How much abuse did we suffer from Richard Sherman over the period of the last 2 seasons? And that little thing on the 50-yard line with that turkey and holding it up and going after the fans and telling them they had no class and that people in Seattle are so much better.
Karma.
I've been telling everybody
it was
for a
karma.
and I've been telling everybody for a long time. I wouldn't have cared about that Super Bowl had not it been for Richard Sherman. I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have cared if the Patriots won or the Seahawks won, but no, there's a personal issue there.
Definitely. It was great seeing his reaction on the side. I know we're like, what just happened? It was great. It was like what we needed. It was, I don't know any better revenge for the 49er fans to see that in the Super Bowl, the biggest game and the biggest stage. He's like, just the look on his face, we're like, that's what we all wanted to see that, and we got it. It was great. It was great.
And remember earlier the 2-4? What was that? He's trying to say 24. I was like sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah, he was like,
sit at the
like,
heat
yeah,
was
it was hilarious.
So we got our revenge for now. Richard Sherman needs to get used to that because you see, the fact of the matter is, next year, and we're going to talk about that right now. You've got some perspective on that right now. Coach Tomasula, what effect do you think he's going to have on this team?
He's a player's coach, you can tell. And just from what I'm seeing and reading the reports, the players love him. So that's great. I mean, not to compare to Pete Carroll and what the Seahawks are doing, but what I heard I'm also a USC fan. I was a Pete Carroll supporter until he went to the Seahawks and what kind of coach he is. And so Tomasula does definitely kind of draw parallels to that. I see it in his personality. He seems like a great guy. If you have a coach you want to really play for and you're excited to go to practice and you don't feel like you're not put into schemes that you don't want to be put in as a quarterback, like Kaepernick, I think it's going to do more positive than, say, them skidding down to like 12th place in the league or something. Or like, you know what I mean? Like just way skidding down and being like maybe 5 wins total. That's not going to happen.
No.
I don't feel that.
And how about
I don't think the 49ers going to skip a beat. Not really. Hopefully not.
You've also got some opinions about the coordinators on this team that are working behind Tomasula as well, don't you?
Yeah. Is it Eric Mangini? And I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly.
It is Mangini, and he's the defensive coordinator, yes.
And then the offensive coordinator. Don't know much about him, but his name Jeep or Geep Christ.
Don't you love it?
I almost want to say Jesus Christ. I don't know. He better be a savior.
I had the same problem. I read the name. Who names their child Jeep? I mean, I'm gonna go with Jeep. I'm gonna guess Jeep Christ. You know, it would be Christ, but he doesn't spell it with an R-I-S. He uses a Y. But I've heard him called Jeep Christ, and I think that might be right. So we'll have to go along with that. Jeep actually, he wasn't an offensive coordinator. He was Cap's coach, which caused everybody a little concern.
Okay.
If he's Cap's coach, watching how Caps suffered and struggled last year, it caused immediate concern. And I think we've had a couple of players that actually endorse him. Bolden likes him. We're going to see about that. He thinks Chris is going to give a little lift to the offense. They're improving on that.
Uncertain.
Okay. All right. So now give a little. What do you think your projection in the next season? How well are we going to do?
Good question. I'm always a positive 49er fan, so I say we can get to the playoffs. We might be a wild card team, but we can get, especially if they let Kaepernick be Kaepernick. Because I mean, I love Kaepernick as a female. I'm a big football fan, so I followed him in college. I loved him in Nevada. And when I saw that there was a possibility of him being drafted by the 49ers, and I was super excited. I knew he wasn't going to stay behind Alex Smith long. I knew what he had, and so did Harbaugh. So that we still have Kaepernick, and burning the jerseys, all that nonsense is going to make people gag next season because he's going to be what he was supposed to be this.
What was that? What were you telling me about Vernon a little while ago?
If Vernon can stay, it seemed like Vernon was frustrated the whole season. Like, you know, I follow him on Instagram. He would post little cryptic messages. It seemed he was unhappy, but they had a good chemistry. I don't know what happened this season that caused them to divert from their chemistry, because it was like he was like the #1 target, right?
Yeah, last year.
So maybe they used him. Maybe what we didn't know was they decided to utilize him more as a blocker, because sometimes he would get off the line and do his route, and then Kaepernick would look his way. Other times he would stay there and block. So I don't know, but I'm just hoping he does stay a 49er and they get that report back this offseason, hopefully.
I need to teach you one thing before you go. Have you got to do the Niner yell? My fashion.
I was practicing last night. Niners!
Ooh. Some interesting tidbits and information from Vinny. Now, I had heard about the 49ers having issues like this before, but now you're hearing it like it's from insider information. It's true. Boys will be boys, though. I got a feeling they'll be okay. They'll get together. They've got a common goal in mind. They'll settle down. It's about getting to the Super Bowl. It'll be okay. Just know it. And Kelly, I want to thank you for joining me. 49er girls are so fabulous. Not only are they just awesome, but they know football too. Check it out, girls. I have been working on a song just for 49er girls. Yo, baby. My 49er girl. You put the B in my bacon. You put the sweet in my golden honey. The swish in my Nikes. And I just wanna say it. 49er girl, golden red pearl. 49er girl, you make my football world. 49er girl. Okay, that's enough. I'm working on that. I will have that song done by the beginning of next season. Oh, hey, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know this. The name never changes. Ronbo Sports. Have a great week, and I will not be late next week. Count me on up out of here.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.